Last time on Almost Heroes.
Yeah, so Cosmo, you are standing outside your house. You look down at your hands, and they are covered in blood. There are cuts across your hands, your palms, and you've drawn this symbol outside and essentially woken up screaming. You can hear the sound, kind of like a clumping noise coming down the path. You see your friend the Warforged, Luther. I have something I'd like to show you. What you come into is this pretty amazing room. It seems to be completely cylindrical, and it's illuminated by these multicolored floating magical spheres. And then there are 4 alcoves on each quadrant of the room, and I would like you to tell me what is in your sanctum.
Magic Library, Alchemist Lab, and Herbalist Lab.
Awesome. Glyn, are you still holding on to the coin in your pocket?
Oh, yeah.
You hear the voice again go, This is the Tattered Lord. And you see Luther's face projected into your mind's eye. Is everything all right? And as he's speaking, you hear the bells from the mine. You hear it ring once. You get just towards the front doors, and you hear 2 bells, a bell ring, and then a second bell ring. And the first gate, that archway has been utterly destroyed by this thing running through. This thing is about twice as big as any Umber Hulk you've ever seen in your life.
I just, full-blown Legolas swing and just come up and just stab it right in the eye. And this whole burst of electricity just courses through its body, and it's kind of ride its face onto the ground.
With that, the Uber Hulk is destroyed. This spectral form disappears from the distance and reappears immediately in front of you. And it's holding onto your hand with this vice-like grip. And it just says, "You seem to have forgotten where your powers come from."
Oh, come on now. I don't like any of this.
Bye, Rangrim.
Let me give you a reminder. And there is the symbol of an eye burned and seared into your palm.
Oh, come on!
Oh.
I'll flip my desk over real quick.
Oh, you're marked.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to jump in media res, into the moment where the dust is still clearing, the Uber Hulk has literally just fallen down, and this cavern, essentially, if I can describe it for anyone who wasn't there last session, just to refresh everyone, was you're inside, you are between the first gate and the second gate. And the first gate is essentially open to the open Underdark passage. That first gate has been utterly destroyed in a 30-foot section of it by this Uber Hulk barreling through it.
Mm.
The destruction caused by that falling rubble has fallen inwards into the densely populated refugee camp that was on the inside of that.
Mm-hmm.
When you went in, you did see that there was fallen rocks, having crushed tents, things of that sort. So that is what you're dealing with. And then Rangrim, you are standing very close to the gate, probably just looking at your hand right now with this brand new cool eye seared into it. And yeah, we can actually pick it up right there with whoever wants to go for it.
Well, Rangrim, right off the bat, would be looking at his hand, and even though he knows and can somehow feel that it's magical in nature, is just cure wounds, healing word, just shouting at it obviously to no avail. And then he just kind of rips off a piece of his robe and just wraps it around his hand and just kind of stares very melancholy off into the Underdark. Well, shit.
Can you do me an Arcana check?
Yes, I can. Well, that is probably not very good.
Or a religion check. Either one would be fine, because you're a cleric. The religion would be fine as well.
Well, those are both a big fat +0 because my intelligence is a 0. So that's an 8.
Okay. So you don't get much from it, but one thing you get a feeling that when you went to cast Cure Wounds on this mark on your hand, it didn't just not work. It didn't even happen. You you felt restricted the second that you put that as your target, as if that spell never even happened.
The vibes of well shit and staring off into the distance intensify.
At that moment, Glyn's pulling the double-bladed scimitar out of the beast's eye. Looks over to Cosmo. You guys really got to start pulling your weight around here, man. I'm getting tired of killing these things for you.
You silly elf. Why don't you come out of the shadows and show me what you really got?
I mean, there's precision, and then there's whatever you guys are doing. Let's see if we can't figure out a way to close up that hole.
Without me, that would put a bigger hole in that second gate.
Woulda, coulda, pulda.
That Uber
Cosmo,
hole.
are you still laying on the ground, by the way?
I don't remember.
I hope so. He's on his back going, I woulda, coulda, pulda.
I reach out. Glyn reaches out a hand to help him up. He's like, no, I'm just playing with you, man. You guys are great. And I like pick him up onto his feet.
I didn't need your help. He just dusts himself off.
Glyn looks over to Rangrim. Rangrim, you okay over there?
Rangrim would kind of like ignore him for a second and then just, oh, yeah. And then he would like finish wrapping his hand and like just grab his gear and make his way back over to Glyn and Cosmos. I was at the furthest entrance to like the Underdark, making my way back over to them. And there were like some of the refugees from the Underdark in this area. Did they already flee through the second gate?
So no. So they were kind of pushed back against the farthest like back wall against the second gate, but they were nowhere. They, as far as you know, are not allowed to go past that second gate. You've never seen anyone that wasn't allowed go past that second gate. So they are kind of just huddling, hiding, cowering in these corners of this cavern right now.
Does Glyn see Joro anywhere?
Yeah, you actually see Joro kind of, now that he's seen this is a little bit quieting down, he seems to be making his way over towards you all.
Kind of our group, like kind of walk over and meet Rangrim like halfway and let kind of Joro approach us. And so, Joro, what the hell was that thing? What are you guys wrestling up down here?
I think you know as well as I do that didn't come from any of us.
I mean, I don't think it's coming from you guys, but any of your workers or any of your people going down in the shafts, or is it all coming from below?
If anyone's causing those things to come up, it would be. I mean, the mining company could be scaring them up towards us, but that's not. And he seems like very distracted, a lot less put together than he normally is. He's very kind of like a cool character, and he just seems like angry and just very like upset about this whole thing. And you can see him kind of as you're talking, like he's kind of looking out and seeing like this devastation that's been wrought on these people. And you can now also see that there are people there, the refugees are actually starting to spread out a little bit, and they're inspecting the tents and stuff that were in the debris fields. And you can actually see them start to pull out bodies of people and help people who are injured. But it does seem like there were several casualties to this attack.
Glyn looks to Cosmo. Cosmo, when you've been down in those trenches, you see any of this in those mines? Have you seen anything like this before? I mean, it seems to be the second major beast we've seen in a couple of days. It's got to be rare.
It's mostly just the small little fellas that try to just looking for scraps, but never quite anything this huge.
I think Joro, I think you're gonna have some bigger problems on your hand besides what's just below. We need to get you out of here, you and your people.
I agree.
Yeah, we've. I think we've had about enough of this. He's you can tell he's like trying to keep himself calm, but he's just like we we're we're either getting through that gate and getting to the surface, that mining company be damned, or we're gonna have to find another way out of here. Another we're gonna have to go through. And he's like looking around at his at the rest of the refugees, and he's like, we're not gonna be the problem is we can't a lot of these folk they barely made it here, and they're not any more well than they were before. They won't make a trip with the defenses we have right now. And even if we were to rustle up armor and weapons, which we don't have, only we're going to have heavy casualties. There's no way that these people are going to make it safely out of here. The safest way would be through that gate, but without taking that damn thing down, I can't see a way through.
What? Why is you stuck down here to begin with?
How do you not? I guess they aren't telling anyone. I think that you'll need to go talk to the Boulder Fist Mining Company, the head of it, probably to get a little bit more information. But there are ancient spells on these gates that don't let our kind through. They were put up long ago when people like me and people like those you see around you were deemed as evil and unwanted. And without being allowed through this gate, as you were, Rangrim, we'll never get through. We just aren't allowed to pass.
How many are there of you guys?
You look around, there's probably like 65 refugees total. Probably less now, but close between probably like 50 to 65.
Kazmo, you know who's at the top of the Boulder Mining Company? Sounds like we have a conversation ahead of us.
I don't know if I do.
You would know. You actually do know. You actually talked to them in the last episode, but it's the lead of the Boulder Fist Mining Company is a dwarf by the name of Rangrim Boulderfist, and he's the one-armed dwarf that you talked to at the beginning of the last episode.
Oh, when I got my bounty?
No, the one that you were trying to convince to leave the mine so that they wouldn't get crushed. Your fear of their being crushed.
The one we saved, ultimately.
Ooh.
So he's the head of the militia and the head of the Boulder Fist Mining Company?
He's just in charge of he's in charge of the Boulder Fist Mining Company, but he was down there because of the threat.
Right, but when I asked who was in charge, he stepped forward.
Well, I mean, he owns it all. It's all his, so that's why he stood up. But I mean,
yeah, it wasn't necessarily like the Underdark militia we were talking to. It was the people that were willing to fight at that time.
No, I know.
It was his employees.
It was.
Yeah, it was Boulder Fist. It was Boulder Fist militia essentially is who it was.
Got it. Cosmo,
Okay.
I think might be able to get us an introduction.
Yes, I suppose we could see what we can do. We'll find a way. If Jaro and these people are not safe.
Some of those words just don't work, huh?
No.
Can relate.
What?
Can relate to that.
Right.
Some words just don't work.
We'll find a way to get your people safe.
I appreciate that. If not, I hope you can understand that we cannot sit idly by, and I cannot let my people die like this. We will figure out a way to bring those gates down, or we'll all die trying.
It's in me heart to defend the innocent, and you can bet that Kazmo will find a way.
Joro, I've known this guy for a little bit, and put a lot of stake in what he has to say. So it's why don't we tend to the wounded, see if we can't get some people some help. You and I have some business to discuss. I think Rangrim, you might be able to help me. Let's see if we can't get some people healed. I'd pull out like some herbalism kits and some health potions and start like kind of walking around.
Sure thing.
Glyn, you actually feel something small. You hear it kind of pitter pattering, running, and then you feel something wrap around your leg and kind of hit you with a little bit of force.
I pull a dagger.
You look down and you see the small, deep gnome that you saved the first time that you fought a monster down the mine.
It's like a child gnome, right?
It's a little, yeah. They're probably no more than like 2 feet, maybe 1.5 feet tall.
So Glyn takes one of his like long spindly fingers and like puts it on her forehead. Like, oh, aren't you cute? I think you might have been confused. It's actually the other short one that helped you out. And I point over to Kazmo, who's looking all benevolent and Healy like.
Benevolent,
yeah,
thanks.
They kind of back up a little bit, looking a little bit uncomfortable, and then they run over and grab onto I assume that like Cosmo a little bit. They'll get a little bit higher on you, so maybe like a waist or something. But you can see the parent of the dwarf, or the dwarf, not the dwarf, the gnome, the deep gnome, come running over and just, I'm so sorry. They just wanted to say thank you. Thank you from all of us.
It's a pleasure to be a help. When you need somebody to support you.
In the background, as you're kind of looking past them, you can actually see them carrying a couple bodies, and you recognize that one of them is actually the dark elf, or the dark elf woman that came into the Underdark came out of the Underdark when they did as well. And it looks like she unfortunately didn't make it.
I look to Rangrim. Rangrim, you recognize anybody here?
Not me. I came out of the Underdark much farther away from here. I made my way to Tin Town after being on the surface by myself for many years.
What drove you out? Was it similar creatures? Other beasts? Other monsters?
The Sundering.
Stirred up a lot of things, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that place was shit to begin with. All of a sudden, you have all these cults who follow these gods and deities, and then they all die. Any semblance of order that was there, gone. It was madness.
A little bit
Took
of a power
me
vacuum.
3 weeks just to get to the surface.
3 weeks by yourself too?
Yeah, myself.
It's a tough journey, man. I'm glad we're at least a little bit in this together. And I start walking over towards like where that lady was, or where they dug up the dark elf, and kind of like situate her clothing so she looks a little nice, like dust her off and kind of give her a light blessing, and just stand up and walk back towards Joro. Says, I think you and I have some business we need to discuss.
I think we do.
Do we go to the little secret hidey hole, or we talk right there?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Where do you have an idea in mind?
Basically, I mean, I guess we could. I want to let him know that we do have weapons, and we'll be bringing him down shortly once this kind of settles. But I would absolutely be trying to convince him to like pump his brakes. Don't go crazy right away. Like, give us basically saying like, hey, Joro, we have something in the works. Just give us some time. You've seen what we can accomplish. Just let us do our thing. We'll see if we can't get you out of here. We'll find a safe home for you guys.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate that you are trying to maintain order here, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do what's best for the people down here, and if that's contrary to what you want, unfortunately, I'm already chosen a side.
Hey, I understand. I have some of those tools you were asking for. I'll get those down to you as soon as I can. Just need to let this settle a little bit.
Yeah, I think that we got some work to do down here too. Unfortunately, it's even less safe now than it was the day before, and so we'll do what we can, and we'll see who's left, and we'll fortify as much as we possibly can. In the meantime, I look forward to hearing from you.
Excuse my foggy memory too. It's been a pretty wild couple days. Have I mentioned the name Tattered Lord to you?
I think you showed me that. You showed me that coin of yours, and while I unfortunately don't have much knowledge of the surface, I from my time in the Underdark, I don't recognize that name, but I can tell you, and with the same as I told you before, that there's magic in that coin. It's no ordinary coin. I can't tell much about it. I'm more of a sword wielder myself, but there's something there.
Well, appreciate your honesty, and we'll keep you in the loop. Just keep sending me those funny little messages you do, and I'll let you know if we have a timetable for getting you guys out of here. It's top of the order for us. Take care of yourself. And I walk to join Kazmo and Rangrim. Hey guys, you done saving the world? Ready for a drink?
Yes, oi, Rangrim.
Several.
Is there something wrong with your hand? Does it need some healing?
It's fine. I cut myself.
Well, just heal it. What are you doing? It's like your job.
I like the pain.
Okay. He just keeps walking. Like, didn't even break stride during the conversation. It's like,
I think I'd feel a lot better if we had this conversation above ground.
Let's go then. Onward and upward.
First round on Kazmo.
First round on me.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
As you guys are heading out, the gate is opened for you just enough to essentially, the dwarves can essentially walk underneath. Glyn has to duck, but slams pretty much immediately behind you, and
do we see Braun Boulderfist?
You don't see him. You don't see him in here. You assume that at some point in time, maybe after they realized that this wasn't as dire as a situation, you think that maybe the reason they came down was because that second bell doesn't get rung very often. It doesn't usually get past that. It hasn't gotten past that first gate in a very, very, very long time, and especially not destroying it. So they came down for a little bit, but you don't see them really in the crowd now.
Okay. Not really. I don't necessarily summon, but I telepathically tell Poe to come back. He's still in hamster form. Hop up on my shoulder and just start walking towards the tavern. The Matic?
The Matic.
Right. I always forget the name. Yeah. Start heading towards the Matic.
Nice. Yeah, so you guys are all just heading up there. Get yourself a brewski. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for anyone that's new, the Matic is the kind of like a local dive bar in town. It's an open air tavern with outdoor seating underneath the cover, and then a central bar in the middle of it. But yeah, you guys are able to make your way up there. You're catching some eyes from some people that are this is the second time you've ran to the call and saved the town from things coming up from below, and so it's people are you're turning a couple heads, but nothing too crazy yet. And so, yeah, you're able to clearly easily make your way over to the Matic and find yourself a seat kind of, in a little secluded corner of it.
How bad do we smell just covered in the guts of this thing? We all just had the ichor just spewed all over us. Just green slime.
Probably not good. It's this blackish green, pretty gross viscous fluid that came out of it. Just the nastiest bug juice ever that came out of the carapace of this creature. One question. I know that we kind of picked up, we kind of stopped after the battle and then picked it up kind of in media res, but did you inspect the actual monster itself after the battle? Would you have?
I was on the other end of Schitt's Creek.
I honestly
definitely did not.
Yeah, I think Glyn would have been more focused on seeing what was going on with the group and the refugees.
Okay.
I don't think I did either.
I think we
Okay.
saw that it had the symbol on it when we first saw it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if that's correct.
Yes. So that was the one thing I was going to say is that you did definitely notice that it had it had that symbol. It was larger. But than the other one, you probably assumed that the symbol was probably a foot in diameter.
Mhm.
So it was much larger than the last one, but it
Yeah.
was there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I would have noticed the size difference, just that it was present.
Mhm.
Who's the bartender? Tom? Tom,
Yes.
how the hell are you? As I like open the door.
Well, hello there.
Yes, I forgot Tom. I like Tom.
What can I get for you?
You know what I'm looking for. Get my special cup. I need some flaming lips.
Ooh, I've been waiting to make that one again. That's a fun. Hold on, let me get my list out.
Have you been practicing?
Well, I did light the bar on fire a couple times while trying to make it. So we'll see. I think I have it down this time. Hold on. And he starts
It's all right,
pulling out all
Tom.
this shit.
It's all right, Tom. You just make me a quick, easy brew with some dwarven mead from me and my friend Rangrim.
He grabs the, because I believe that you guys just store your drink, your ale glasses at the place. So he pulls down your ale glasses for Rangrim and yourself, and then just palms this dwarven mead barrel and puts it down on the counter and goes, "This one's on me. I heard about what you all did tonight, so this one, don't even worry about it."
Oh, thanks, Tom. We much appreciate it.
So it's like a half keg, like a half barrel size, but it'll do you good. But yeah, he goes back to start messing around with, and takes him a lot longer than it did for Jody to make up that random drink, the chafed nips or whatever. I think that's what we called it, the chafed nips.
So the drink here was the flaming lips. The other one, Rangrim ordered the chafed nips because he couldn't remember the name.
Exactly.
But as he's like reading off the ingredients just for flavor, Glyn's using Mage Hand to hand him the ingredients. So just like right there. So he just grabs.
Cool. Yeah, he's still going pretty slow with it. He's like being very, very careful. But by the end of this, he lights it on fire and then hands it over to you. This one might be my best one yet, and then hands it off.
I take a swig. Do I die?
Constitution saving throw.
I survive. 17.
Nice. Yeah, you I think it's a good one. I think it's nice and smooth. You got the balance right. It's not too alcoholic, like for alcohol forward. It's like in that
it's enjoyable.
Most of it burns off with the fire on top of it. So yeah, it's good. It's nice and smooth. It's got that kick in the back.
Oi there, Glyn. Is it you got all that alcohol covered up with all of your little things?
Hey, if you've been around as long as me, man, you'll get yourself a refined palate. Stop drinking that sewer water.
I just like me alcohol with me alcohol.
Rangrim takes a sip and he just goes, "How old are you?"
And I just sit down. I don't say anything. I was like, guys, this really escalated quickly. This has been some
you never
crazy
asked,
couple days.
You never asked an elf his age. He's old. He's just really old.
Well, I know you're younger than.
He's just older than all of us combined. He's just old.
I mean, I'm old.
Right.
And then I just
really
finish my tankard, and then I just keep filling it, and then just take it and go off to some secluded table in the corner and just sit there and start drinking.
Wallow.
So, hey, Glyn, I feel that your friend Joro there needs some help. And what do you say? Maybe we go try and twist the arm of Mr. Boulderfist.
Twist the arm, Kazmo. You're speaking my language.
Aye.
I thought you were gonna ask him to, appease to decency, dwarven decency, if it exists. But I like this a little bit more.
Well, the way I see it, us there legends, as Luther calls us. We've saved his company now twice, I reckon, and I think he owes us a favor.
I think, Kazmo, you are a lot smarter than I've been giving you credit for. I will follow you into this one, and if you need a little bit of a, let's call it deception, or maybe we can set up a little trick to get him even more on our side. Maybe I can, disguise myself as an assassin, and you can stop me. Save him, and then he'll really owe us one.
Aye, a life for a life.
Let's see if Rangrim's got any ideas, and sit down next to Rangrim, kind of like nudge him on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, you've been quiet ever since you got back. It's not like you. What's going on?
Well, and he looks around and looks for Kazmo and would kind of motion him to the table.
I think we both sat down together.
You both sat down. Cool. Sick.
I'm right here.
So he looks across the Mead. It takes another heavy swig and he goes, looks over. So that symbol that we've been seeing on these creatures,
the one I painted
from the Underdark.
The one I painted with my own blood.
Yep. Remember when I was kind of staring off into the Underdark? I don't know if you guys saw anything, but
nope.
It was something there, and he unwraps his hand and just plays his hand out right in the center of the table.
Fuck.
Bloody hell, Rangrim. Where did you get that?
Something in the tunnel spoke to me, in a voice I have not heard in a very long time.
Wait.
You recognize the voice.
You recognize the voice?
I think I'd recognize the voice. Or have an inkling of what it is.
Yes. Yes. You would
Not necessarily the voice, or maybe like the tone or the intention behind the voice.
I will say that understanding the where the voice came from, it would be familiar to you based on your past.
So it spoke to me in that tunnel.
What did it say?
Well, I lied to you. Obviously Morden's dead, and I kept going with that because it just seemed to stick. But the truth of the matter is, I don't know where my power's coming from, any of my divine abilities, but I know something gave them back to me after I lost them.
Yes, right, me too.
But I called to it.
That's when it showed
when
up in
I
did it
escaped the Underdark
Oh,
during
okay.
the Sundering. It took 3 weeks. I was fighting tooth and nail, and I wasn't alone. I was with my daughter. And one night, I took my holy symbol, and I prayed to have my old strength back so I could get out of that hell. Something answered. One night before I left and made it to the surface, I woke up and my daughter was gone. And ever since, I've known that these powers aren't coming from a god that has any good favor or fortune for me.
That's something that is only seeks to take from you.
I fear that. And with all that shit coming out of those tunnels right now, and you doing your little graffiti street art in the middle of the night, we got a lot of questions and not a lot of answers right now.
Right.
Well,
And you guys did so good with the whole tiger thing. I'm not very good at investigatorial type measures.
Yes.
I couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Well, you think your daughter's still alive? How long ago was this?
During the Sundering, some 50 years ago.
I mean, she could very well be alive, right? If she's got that Rangrim blood running through her, you know she's tough as nails.
She could be, but the thing is she wasn't taken by some beast. There was no struggle. I mean, I'd survived 3 weeks getting us to the surface. She was just gone. All of her belongings there. No sign of a struggle. Gone.
Well,
I do not have enough experience with God to be able to speak to that one, but I don't know
It's some
many
heavy
gods
shit,
that take
right?
without giving. Yeah,
It's
I feel like we
heavy.
need to have a conversation with them.
And now you understand the heavy drinking. And he just would tip back another tankard.
I'll be honest, I hate when you're sober, so keep it up, bud.
That was amazing, Rangrim, by the way. That's cool.
Then, guys, I don't necessarily want to add more to the pile, but I literally have more to add to the pile, and I pull out the coin and I slam it on the table. And I like show like the tatter, or not tatter, like the scratched up side. I said, now I don't recommend anybody touches this. And if it starts to look like it might be giving off a little bit of heat, definitely don't touch it. But I've been having conversations with something that's on the other side of this coin for the last couple days, founded on those first group of outlaws that jumped us, who worked for the Tattered Lord, the group that nearly took my life. And Kazmo, I think they put you to sleep for a little bit. But every once in a while, this coin will kind of reach out to me. There's a voice on the other side. And I take a look around to see if anybody's watching. Is anybody kind of like eavesdropping at all?
No. If you want to roll a perception, you can.
14.
Yeah, you don't really. You can definitely see that more people have taken, just kind of the same way that when you were walking over here, people are looking at you more. But you get the sense that it's people like at their tables, like kind of like if someone does something really kind of cool at like, I don't know, in school, when everyone's like talking about them, but you can tell it's kind of in a more positive way. People are looking at you like that, but that's kind of what you're getting.
Like where like the popular
Yeah.
like
they're like,
heartthrobs are like, oh my god,
It's
exactly.
It's Kazmo and Rangrim. Oh my god.
oh my god, they're so cute.
And
That elf
Glyn.
is hideous.
It's hurtful.
He just hides
He's
in
gonna
the
kill
shadows.
all of you in your sleep.
He just hides in the shadows anyways. Nobody know he was there because he didn't take any damn. He just
Shooting him, a little pew pew. So after he looks around, he goes, "This voice on the other side said they've been captured and looking for some assistance to get let out. They don't remember who they are. They've been sending me some messages, some visions as to where they are, which I don't recognize, and maybe you guys might be able to help with. But the most alarming piece, and the piece that we really need to make sure we keep under wraps and between the three of us, if you will, is he said that the Tattered Lord was Luther.
Luther.
Yeah, you know, big old bucket of bolts,
Well, that
kind
doesn't
of
make
hobbling around.
that doesn't make sense. He just literally gave us like our own little like underground sanctuary. What is
It
it?
seemed
We
like a
about
pretty
know who
cool guy.
Luther is. He seems like he's quiet, but he's not some evil villain.
That's kind of where I was thinking, but I mean,
Go- Is this where
If
we
someone's
want to be
really
having
locked
this
up.
conversation? Is this?
well, I don't want to be having it in the sanctum next to where old Ironside might be able to hear us. We need to
No.
keep this between us.
Solid pull.
Well, I just, he rolls for investigation, looks around.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
Is the coin out on the table right now?
Yeah, it's just like on the it's I don't know how big the table is, but it's between the three of us.
Cool.
It's investigation. It's a 16.
What are you investigating? The coin?
Just no. Well, or what am I? Just people around me. Is that the wrong roll? Do you want me to-
Perception.
Oh, okay.
You can use the same roll, just add perceptions.
It's a 17 instead.
Okay. Yeah. You're looking to see if anyone's kind of eavesdropping?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the same kind of thing. You don't really see anyone that's kind of like looking malevolently or seems like they're listening in. And you guys Rangrim picked a far table on purpose at the very beginning. So like there's no one's gonna overhear you as long as you're keeping your voice down.
Well, I reckon it doesn't look like anybody's spying on us. They definitely seem to know us. They're happy of us. They just happy that we're here. It's all right. You just keep your voices down. Luther's he's really popular here, so we just If we're trying to say he's some really crazy guy, you just don't want anybody to think it.
So with your perception check, I think that all of you would actually see this. The coin sitting in the middle of the table, it starts kind of slow at first, but then it starts turning this like red hot color that you've seen when like Luther would cast like his oh my gosh, heat aura, heat metal, like that kind of like, and it turns that color pretty quickly and starts like, you can see the table itself actually starts smoking, the wood underneath it blackening.
Glyn is doing something.
And I cast Mage Hand and pick it up, but I don't touch it. I just like hold it in an opaque Mage Hand, so
Okay.
it's kind of hidden that it's burning, floating in the sky.
Yeah. So it doesn't. Nothing happens when you. I mean, it's just being held in your Mage Hand right now, but you can see it, and it's not smoking and burning anymore, but it's still that red hot color.
So, boys, if I grab this, I have a feeling I'm gonna have a little bit of a conversation. Do you guys want to try taking it over? Or do you want to keep it between me and this other being?
No, I think it's talk to you. I really like it talking to you. Yep.
I've had enough fucked up conversations today. You can. Oh,
Yep.
You have this one.
It's all yours, mate.
All right.
See if it has a speakerphone function.
Is there? I check for speakerphone.
Yeah, there's a little button on it that you can see. There's a little switch on the side that no, I mean
it's not a physical button. It's a touch. It's a touch interface.
I mean, who knows? Maybe if you guys all touch it, it could be a speakerphone functionality, but it may be only single person too. You don't really know.
I, with my Mage Hand, flick it to myself, and I catch it.
Okay. Yeah. What's interesting is as soon as it touches your hand, it isn't burning you. It seems like that was almost more of an attention grabbing technique by the coin, but it's not actually burning your skin, but it's still like, I mean, it's very, very hot, but it's not to the point where it's like scalding you. And the second that it touches you, like every other time you've interacted with this coin, you see what looks like it's like zooming out of a pile of stuff, and it's actually zooming in. So you see this old dilapidated wooden chest, and as you're zooming in towards it, the lid is lifting and you're going through all this like old swords and old like darkened potions that have like clearly long past their expiration date, and like just everything in there looks really old. And as you kind of go through all this stuff to the bottom, there is it seems like the bottom kind of slides away, and there is this circular thick disc at the bottom of it that you can tell is probably, it's like think of like a hockey puck, and it has this rune etched deep into the top of it. And then on the underside, you can see what looks like almost like a labyrinthian engravings, and you're kind of seeing this thing from the perspective of like, you're not picking it up. There's no hand in the vision, but it's like this thing, it zooms down onto the top of this puck, and then it almost lifts up and rotates, and then you can see the underside, which has the labyrinthian like embossing and engraving that goes into like half an inch, that looks like just these like intricate crazy patterns. And with that, the coin, the vision stops and the coin goes dark.
Okay, few questions. Do I recognize the chest? Have I seen the chest before? Is it like an old chest that I've seen about town, or maybe in Luther's old shack?
Roll me a history check.
Oh God.
Is
that one? That is a big old 9.
If you describe it to the others, they might be able to help you with this and give you advantage on it. But for right now, I'll say that it does seem familiar, but you can't remember where.
I would be doing that after the fact. And then, sorry, one more question. Can I read the runes? Is it a language I recognize?
What languages do you speak?
You don't have my languages memorized?
I'm so sorry.
What kind of DM are you?
I know it's Undercommon. I know that for a fact, and I know it's Elvish.
Common, Elvish, and Thieves' Cant, and okay. Undercommon.
No, you do not recognize this rune.
Okay, and I would have after I guess I can. It doesn't really matter the order, but I would have told them as soon as like the vision blinked out. I would have explained everything I just saw to them.
Okay.
What did you hear, Glyn?
There's no voice this time, just vision. So
Visions?
this is what I saw. Blah, 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 blah. Retcon.
No, I need you to recant it word by word. That's great audio for everyone.
Yeah. Just a repeater.
That's crazy there, Glyn. I feel like maybe I've seen that chest somewhere.
Yeah, if you guys want to both roll history checks, you are more than welcome to.
Natural 20.
Fuck
history
yes.
Check.
Rangrim.
So that is just a straight 20 also, because I have a +0 to that.
Rangrim, you recognize this chest more than anyone because that was the chest that you saw Luther open and toss you a very old healing potion out of the first time you got injured, and first time you actually met Luther, and when he invited you into the Heroes Guild, the Legends Guild.
I would. That sounds like that chest that Luther tossed me that nasty healing potion out of.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's go. I don't know.
I'll
Go
say
fuck him up.
Yeah. I'll say that's gonna tie in a little bit more to the whole Luther might be the let's call him the TL, but we should probably approach this one with a little bit of candor. I've spent a good amount of time deceiving and it's called luring prey, if you will.
Yes.
Out into the middle of nowhere, and so far so good. This is exactly what I would be doing to get somebody to follow right into a nice little trap. So
right, yeah. You don't typically we don't typically let somebody just know about things unless he wants you to find, or these crazy lords and they just do weird things.
I couldn't agree more. So what do we've got that to chase down, but also what about our friends down below? Rangrim, you were able to get through whatever those barriers were. Do you have any idea as to how we might be able to get them out?
Well, I was given access when I came to Tin Town, but it was under Madge lobby to allow me into the mine. I didn't come from that side of the Underdark, but I was able to go through those gates for the same reason that Kazmo can go through those gates. Fucking kill shit if it gets through the gates.
What who did
I don't
Madge
know
talk
what
to?
they did or how they did it. All I know is that I was told that I was given access and was warned of the bell system as well as I've gone down there to see if I can maybe get some, cheap ore off one of Cosmo's friends that might not be as have much of a stick up his ass and maybe, sell me something. But other than that, I don't know how or what means they used to keep them there, but I was able to pass freely and I knew that I shouldn't have.
You're right. That is a strange circumstance. Why would you be able to pass if they can't? Is it?
I was told I had access, but I never really questioned it because this is gonna sound kind of cold, but I didn't really care for a long time.
Right? Yeah, it works for you. It works because it
But
should.
now
I hear that and I cheers him.
But with everything else we're seeing here, there's a lot more going on than
Well, it sounds like
has been.
access can be granted and taken away. So maybe we just need to figure out who owns that decision and, as you would say, twist an arm.
Still have not rested. I think I'm fine as far as spells go.
I still have 1 or 2 spell slots, I believe.
I have 2.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are definitely going to need a long rest before you go anywhere. You've had 2 relatively long nights with everything that's been going on, so it's been a long 24 hours, that's for sure. So who's how is the table situated? Who's sitting on the same side as Rangrim and who's on the other side?
I assumed it was in a triangular motion, but
okay.
I kind of assumed that as well.
The two of you see a very large, like tall, broad form that is moving quickly up behind Rangrim.
quick! Who sees it?
I mean, both of you would because he's you're both sitting on the opposite side of the table from him.
I pull a dagger under the table, but I just keep sipping my drink.
I use my beer mug to cover the coin.
You see very quickly that the figure coming up behind Rangrim is the orc metal worker, or I guess forgist. What is it called? Blacksmith. There you go. That's the word. Metallurgist or
the forger metallist.
That's not even a fantasy term. That is a real life term.
It's true. Yeah. You see the very broad orc blacksmith with a one metal arm named Madge, who is coming up behind Rangrim and just pats him on the back with a hard hand. I hear you've been. Oh nope, that's not the voice. Hold on. That's
What's your word?
I hear you've been saving the town down there. What's I'm sorry. Did I got that all of you? She sits down and she pulls a mug out from. She had it hanging on her belt, and she throws it down and pours herself an ale as well. What the hell is going on down there?
Rangrim would just kind of shift and then grab his mug with his left hand, putting his right hand under the table.
Nice.
And then a whole bunch of shit, man.
He's a bunch of big shit.
Yeah, that's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like. You got the whole town is buzzing, talking about you guys. This, to be honest, I didn't really think that would be something I would be hearing about. Is your exploits from other people? To be quite honest.
What? I'm heroic in things.
Yes.
Remember that one time? And oh shit, that was Luther. Or that other time, and that was you. I was drunk.
Yeah, no,
well,
you're
fine.
You're Rangrim. You are very heroic, and she pats you on the back again. Although I've seen you drunk several times peeing in the corner of the shop, so I have a little bit of a bias.
I think we went over this. That was my room. Oh no, I lost that argument too.
That's the main room that we both work in. Yeah, that one.
Have you guys met Madge? She's great.
Let's talk about it.
Well, it all started when I was a young orc. Let me just tell you this whole story.
Madge, we were actually going to come visit you. We had a question for you. It's just amazing that you met us, but we'd love to buy you a drink and maybe pick your brain about. You were able to grant access to Rangrim to be able to go in and out of the mines. How were you able to do that?
Well, I have a little bit of pull in the town, and since he didn't come out of the mines, and he was only going down there as you can go one way, and if you're already coming back from being up here and you have someone to vouch for you, it's no problem. But I mean, it's different situation if you're just coming out of there and don't know anyone up here and don't have anyone to vouch for you.
Well,
and I have a little bit of a pull, in the town, so it worked out, but it wasn't easy.
Is it like a pass? It just lets you through? Do you know?
It's that's actually I actually don't know. I assume that old Brongren has some sort of method of keeping track of who has access and who doesn't. The spells on those gates are fucking old. So there's got to be something, but that shit's ironclad. There's nothing coming in and out. It you know what? It's crazy. It actually, a lot of people thought that gate, a lot of people that are here that are older than, which isn't me. I haven't been here as long since the Sundering. I came here afterwards, but they thought that spell was going to fall with the Sundering, and it never did. It's been there ever since. It's been there before. It's been there for as long as that mine's been there.
I reckon it's it can't be powered by somebody from the old guards then. But who did you speak to in order to get old Rangrim here?
Oh, Brongren? He's an asshole. But I had to deal with him. He's the only one that has any kind of say over anything. He's kind of a big deal with his whole stupid thing. He's related to the mighty Garn Boulder Fist or whatever the fuck. He's just whatever. It's his own thing. It's his mining company, whatever. But all I needed was Rangrim to be able to pass unmolested by them, and that's it. But I haven't ever tried vouching for anyone since. I mean, I don't want to put myself on the line, but I felt good about old Rangrim.
Well, I'm not asking you to put yourself on the line. I'm willing to do that. But what do you reckon is a good way to approach him?
I mean, I think that you probably have a pretty good time to approach him now because you did just save his bacon a little bit.
That's what I reckon. But if I need to come on a little bit differently to him.
Do you want me to hold your hand and take you down to see Brangren?
No.
Brangren?
No, I don't need that. I'm very well capable,
Rangrim's
strong.
laughing his balls off at that comment.
I'm-
I told you, she's great. You can learn a thing or two from that one, Elf.
I was gonna ask which hand was it gonna be.
This is a strong hand.
Take the strong hand, child.
My germs. All right, well, Cosmo, it sounds like we know who we need to talk to. Rangrim, you in a convincing mood? You're gonna stay here and get mighty plastered with your friend?
No, I think I should see this one through with you boys. But that's all right with you, Madge, as long as you don't need me at the forge for a while.
As long as you leave this this tankard here, this keg here, I'll be plenty occupied.
I'll do you one better, and I'm gonna actually slip her 10 gold as well next to the tankard.
Damn, I'm
a booze.
I'm paying you way too much.
Oh, I got that from there's this whole thing with these tigers. You should have seen me. I choked this guy and his head like popped. It was a whole I'll have to tell you about it later. And he's like kind of taking his drink and walking away. Like, we're gonna have this whole conversation. It's great though. I'm sorry about pissing in the shop. And then
before I walk away, Glyn also leans over to Madge. Madge got another 10 in it for you. If you I left a pile of weapons and some tools behind the shop. You might be able to clean up and polish those a little bit, make them shine like I'm sure only a one-armed orc warforge can.
I have 2 arms, but yeah, sure. That's a really weird way to ask someone for a. Do you always slate someone as you're asking them for something? Is that just your thing?
It's called a compliment. You have to compliment them and insult in the same time. It's a fine line. It works 50 to 25% of the time.
I see, I always thought a compliment assault was when you tell someone that's something that's really nice and you also assault them at the same time, which is kind of what I want to do to you right now.
You know what? I'm glad we had this conversation. I look forward to paying you your 10 gold. Let's make it 15 just for the sake of posterity, and I will see you later, Marge. And
she's
turn away.
Yeah, she's just laughing. She takes the gold. She's like, yeah, don't worry, I'll take care of it. It's fine. Got nothing else to do. I'm apparently up now from this. It's like 3 a.m, and I'm just awake because the whole town's awake at this point. Everyone's gonna be fucking tired tomorrow.
What? I don't even know what time it is.
It's like 3
it's
like
right
3 or 4
morning.
in the morning. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We'll keep the party running, and we'll be back.
The only thing that, and I gotta figure out maybe how this happens, is when I slide my glass down the table and scoop the gold coin into my hand off the table.
Yeah, just do a sleight of hand.
All right. Shit.
It won't be a high check. You have a good way of doing it.
11.
Yeah, that's fine. You're able to scoop it, drop it in your hand. It's no big deal. I mean, you're not doing any kind of crazy coin tricks. You're just literally you're catching it as you slide it off the table.
Yeah, and then I just gulp down my thing and put it down. And I just motioned to, hey, you told me would just keep this for me?
Oh, of course. I'll come over there and collect it promptly.
Right, there's some gold here for you. Thank you, friend.
Oh, thank you kindly. Y'all are so nice.
So, boys, I think we need to go visit Rangrim real quick, see if we can't work some bodies through that magic gate of his.
I have just a small thought. It is like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Right.
We did just fight like a giant bug.
True,
Hey,
true,
maybe-
true,
I'm
true,
pretty
true.
sure one of you almost died. Cosmo was like peeing his pants, either a dream about his dad or something. We still haven't talked about that.
No,
I
we
think
haven't.
maybe we should go down for the night and revisit this in the morning.
You talking in like cuddle puddle or individual beds?
What's a cuddle puddle? Or individual beds. You guys have beds. You want to warm? I can share your bed, Glyn.
It's pretty short. I'm sure we can find. It actually might work perfectly for you. I might actually do better elsewhere. But how about we approach this tomorrow and we get some sleep for the evening?
That sounds like a good time. I reckon maybe Luther has some big beds, or we can go back to me mom's house.
Maybe we go to his mom's for now. Luther's a little weird at the
Yeah, I
moment.
don't know if I want to fall asleep around something that doesn't sleep. I only get about 4 hours, and that freaks me out. So
yeah,
I don't know
well-
what that's gonna look like.
Well, here, take this because it freaks me out, and I hand you the gold coin.
I was like, damn, I tried to leave it and I pocket it.
Are you guys? Are you guys still talking about all this with Madge there at the tavern?
No,
then, or-
we've
No,
walked
we-
out.
we were like
Okay.
walking out.
Okay, so you're all going back to Cosmos then, just kind of piling up in there.
I am.
Yep.
Okay, cool,
Hey, that sounds good. Let's go get a long rest.
We're gonna click this long rest button.
awesome.
Or before I fall asleep, I take the time to cast Find Familiar and turn Poe back into Poe. He's no longer a hamster. He's back to a raven. Back to a thing
Awesome.
that can fly.
Awesome. Are you guys just planning on just trying to get that long rest in and then resuming?
Yeah.
Like, more or less.
Do my normal morning rituals. If I'm feeling, actually, I'll roll for it. Because I now feel like more attuned with this blade, and it's got this cool tiger etching from my boy. I cast Green Flame Blade before I start the ceremony, and try to get real funky with it.
Yeah.
So your house might catch on fire, Cosmo, and I get a. What are we doing? Slide a hand for that.
Just do a acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Okay, same score. 11.
Okay, yeah. I guess it could have been sleight of hand because you're just spinning it, but I assume you throw like a cool flip in there or something.
Oh yeah, cartwheels and shit.
You said 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do kind of catch it in the side of the bedpost, and it
fair.
does kind of start a small fire a little bit that you're able to pad out, but
Shit! Oh god damn!
it doesn't spread to like the bedding or anything, but you definitely like nicked the bedpost and it started kind of burning a little bit. It was got a nice little sear and a little bit of a cut in it, but I mean it's fine, I'm sure.
I like quickly wipe it away. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna notice, and I like walk out.
Cool. Yeah. Again, you're feeling very good and very like proficient with this weapon, and to use game terms or whatever. But you feel even more than the day before. You feel like you're just like there's barriers that are falling down between whatever like power source that is allowing you to like be proficient with this weapon. Like you feel like every day that you do this ritual, you're getting closer and closer to like breaking through that veil. And today is no different. You feel even closer.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
And I sheath it up and I head out the door. So boys, we gonna knock on Rangrim's front door. We're gonna go see if Luther's might be hiding something a little more devious.
Oh, real quick, when Rangrim woke up, I totally forgot about this. I would have again done my normal blessing on my shield, but while I'm doing it, like when everyone has left the room, I'd have my left hand on it as I would normally try to bless it, and I'm just staring at my right hand.
So you're trying to cast it with the hand?
Yeah, well, no, I'm looking at my right hand, but I have my
Okay.
left hand on it, as I normally only ever put one hand on it, or sometimes I don't even need to touch it.
There is no problem with your spell. You don't feel any of that restriction as you're doing this spell. So everything goes off without a hitch with the spell.
Okay. And like no visible change to my hand or anything like that. No feeling.
Nope. And when you tried casting to mend it before, there wasn't anything then visibly, but it just was you felt
null.
You just felt like, yeah, it's like you were trying to tap into something that you normally tap into and just wasn't there when you tried targeting that as a target for the spell.
Rangrim would take something and make more of a proper hand wrap on his hand and mosey out with the rest of the boys.
Nice.
Oi, Rangrim, we should really get you a sweet glove for that if it's gonna be there forever.
It's not going to be there forever, Kazmo. Don't you gotta pee the bed and like go do graffiti about something? He's like wicked flustered and mad about it.
Rangrim, like kind of like holding his shoulders back. Like, you just need to. It's too early for that, man. You're bringing the smoke. Come on, we haven't had breakfast yet.
I was just trying to be nice, Rangrim. You don't have to go off on me.
Hurt his feelings.
And he pulls a cigarette out of his beard. And
Yeah, so why don't you smoke that and just come back and talk to me when you're ready to talk like a big boy.
I'm sorry. That was rude, and it's been a weird couple days.
It has been, but I'm still here. I don't have to be like a jerk or anything.
Everything was fine until this elf showed up and was like, "We should go on adventures and get gold." I was fine pissing in corners at matches, but nope.
That seems oddly specific and incorrectly targeted towards me. I'm not the one out here trying to prove that goodness is the way.
I'm sorry. I'm also being very aggressive to everybody today. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're sober. We just need to get you back on that horse, and we'll be good to go.
All right. Let's go.
I had an idea. There's a gentleman in town who owns a little shop that I wanted to stop by with you, Rangrim. You mind making a quick trip? Kazmo, I'm sure you've been over there, but
yeah,
like doing a quick little side quest, if you will.
Side quest. Where we got? I thought we were going to see Bogota or whatever his name was.
Go to Bogota.
I mean, Bogota will be there in a little bit. Maybe we wait till after he's had breakfast before we start that conversation. I think you might enjoy what we're going to find at this next spot, or hopefully. And then I start guiding them towards Crackle Pops.
Oh, dope. Cool. I am super stoked on this. Yeah, so you guys are just going straight to Crackle Pops?
Rangrim is making concerning eye contact with Kazmo the whole way. Like, what?
Hey, I'm not allowed.
You both in on this.
I'm not allowed in on anymore.
There's the goody two shoes dwarf can't go in here.
No,
Kazmo, what did you do at Crackle Pops?
No, it wasn't me.
What did you do, Kazmo?
It was Glyn. He was trying to steal things, and I called it.
It's a different place. It's a different place.
You're thinking of the reliquary with the little.
Oh yeah. Oh
lady.
okay. All right, then maybe I can go in there. I just thought it was. I wasn't. I haven't had me morning mead yet.
I haven't had my lizard stew.
Yes, lizard stew and morning mead. Mama does it good.
All right, well, lead the way to. What'd you say his name was? Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
You nailed it once again.
I'm getting better at this.
Yeah, I can feel it. What's my name again?
I know your name's Glyn.
Ah, there it is. I feel special. And I just keep walking to Crackle Pops.
This is a special moment, guys.
Yeah, you knows my name. You get one friendship token.
Yeah, so okay, where's Crackle Pops at? Okay. So yeah, so you go to you're walking up to this place, and it's definitely a place that you've probably noticed before, because as you're walking up to this place, you actually start hearing it before you get there. And it's like you can see like small things of steam and puffs coming up from the top of it, and there's like little gears and little whirly doos and crazy crap that are like moving around on the front of the building itself. And then the door is like this it's like this polished burnished bronze, and then all these little like gears and little pulleys and stuff that are moving around to the front are also all this like bronze and like different kinds of metal. And then there's just, it says in big, extremely gaudy and like ugly fucking lettering, it just says Crackle Pops across the top of it. It is very like fucking Weasley Wizard Wheezes-esque, this place.
And Glyn like gets to the location a little bit ahead of everybody, like turns around and kind of does like a Havana Wide's like, guys, is this not the most beautiful thing you have ever seen? Look at all these whirly dervishes. Look at that zippity doo. It's paradise. It's like the first time you've ever seen Glyn excited about anything. And he turns towards the door.
Rangrim. He says, I don't get words right, whirly dervish, and he just make words up.
And I go to reach for the door.
Yeah, this. So as you walk up to the door, you see this little mechanical eye is like looking at you and moving, and then out of this little kind of horn thing next to the door, you hear, "Hello? Can I help you?"
It's Glyn. Let me in, man. I got some new people to meet.
Oh yeah, 1 second. And the door like just kind of like and opens up, and it's kind of like, it's pretty bright inside, and like the immediate feeling is like this kind of, it's really warm in this place. Like there's fires burning in a lot of different places, and it's kind of like steamy up towards the ceiling, but everything is this like bright, shiny, reflective material of like different kinds of like polished metal. And there are just these tables littered with all kinds of different little, I don't know, just metal creations and these little weird things. And then there's, like I said, there's different kinds of machinery that seem to be operating around the walls. And then the middle section of the floor is taken up by these just these small tables covered in these little like metal objects and figures.
And Glyn, being here multiple times, would know this guy's name, which is,
I'm assuming Crackle Pops.
Yeah, I think you just call him Crackle Pops.
Crackle Pops.
Actually, you know what? No, I love it. You call him Pops.
Perfect. Pops.
Adorable.
I told you I'd be bringing some people through every once in a while. Your genius knows no bounds. But my friend here, as you can tell, and I like point to Rangrim, who's probably squinting because it's bright out. It's like, he's been struggling with this old sun, and I know if anybody can find a solution for, maybe a little dimming of the light, it'd be you. You got any tools around here, or any inventions that might be able to help?
So you see this small figure that's bent over the work table, and he's making something, and they're sitting down, and they turn, and they have these giant fucking goggles on that magnify their eyes to like insane proportions. And you see this small gnomish figure, and these just like, they're kind of just like, I don't know, like different kinds of like leather suspenders with like a white shirt on, and then just these kind of like brown shorts that come up, like they're pretty like high above the knee kind of thing. And he jumps, like, oh, hold on 1 second, and he's like finishing up, and you see a couple different like what seem like smoke points where he's touching this this little thing he's working on with this other little rod, and you see it kind of like, he pushes a little tiny button, and this thing just starts like, you see it's this little tiny dragon, and its wings just start flapping, and then it just like emits this little puff of smoke, and he's like, perfect. It's perfect. And he jumps down and moves over to you, and the second that he moves, shit is fucking weird. And Glyn, you are used to this, but you two are not. As he moves towards you, it almost seems like, you remember when mice on a computer, you would turn up the trail, where it leaves a trail behind it? His movement leaves that maybe about 2 to 3 feet back as he moves towards you, almost as if he's leaving like after images, or just like a trail of some sort. And he doesn't seem to make anything of it, and just kind of runs over to you and is like grabbing your hand. I don't know who would be closest to him aside from Glyn.
It would probably be me because
Yeah,
I think I was
like
like
walked right
presenting
in with him.
Rangrim.
Okay. Oh my god, it's so nice to meet you. I love meeting new people. This is welcome in. What can I show you first? And he's like trying to go over to like the tables and grab different things off and like bring them over. Like, look at this one. It's like, and he's showing you this little like castle that the drawbridge. When he turns this little thing, it moves back and forth and it opens and closes. And then he like goes over. He's trying to go back over to the table for something else.
That's very intricate there. Was it Pops?
Yeah, Pops. Pops is my name.
That's very intricate. Is it? Do you have a whole little set of those?
Oh my God! I could show you these all day. Where can we start? Where can we start? And the way he speaks. He's like you can pick it up, but he's speaking very fast, like just like a very quick pace for his. You don't know whether he's excited or what, but it is a lot faster repetition than someone you normally speak to.
Kazmo, we'll be here all day if you ask to see everything he's working on. I've
Right.
learned with Pops it's better to be a little more goal oriented.
He's actually like leaning back and forth on his like kind of rocking back and forth on his feet, and you can see this like after trail image kind of moving back and forth. It's very strange.
Pops, what do you have in mind? Our buddy here can't necessarily spend too much time in the bright light, but can't walk around with his eyes closed. That's just as much as a disadvantage.
Rangrim is like squinting, like he looks like he's getting nauseous at like him just rocking back and forth like that, having trouble seeing in the light anyways. It's like
he grabs he like moves over the table quickly and grabs a stool, and he kind of like he like pushes it out in front of Rangrim, and he gets up on it and just like squints into your eyes with these giant like enlarged eyeballs and is just staring at you. Oh yes. I think I can make something for you. You have the Underdark vision. Yes, I can see how that would be a problem with being up in the sunlight. Okay. And he goes over and he's like, he just kind of runs over to this little cabinet full of crap, and you can just see him kind of like pulling things out, and he's just like looking at it. He grabs like some like circles, some different rings of metal, and he's looking at those, and then he's like going over to this little these little things that he has on the table, which seem to be some sort of like almost like a telescope of some sort, and he's like disassembling it, and he's pulling out these like discs from the center of it that seem to be like almost like shaded, like they seem to be like a darker kind of like almost like a very like thin obsidian, where they're like it's translucent, but at the same time it's kind of you can see through it, but it's like it shades it like sunglasses. And he's like, okay, I think I have all the components I need. It's gonna take me some time, but a little bit. I think I'll need at least probably a day, maybe 6 hours. I think I can put this thing together. It seems like I have everything here. I'll have to fabricate some. I think I can come up with something for you.
What do you need to fabricate?
While he was like rummaging through a bunch of stuff, Glyn would have gone over to the little dragon and tried to tinker and help it sustain its flight. Would have tried to like find the gap in what was happening with the dragon.
Okay, yeah. Fuck. What do you want to roll for that?
Do straight intelligence? I don't think there's like machining.
You know what? I think we should add something like tinkering. Would that be intelligence?
I would prefer that it was. Maybe intelligence plus dexterity. So those are my.
I think. I mean, is that what sleight of hand is essentially?
I think so. Would be my guess.
Let's just do sleight of hand for it, but I like the idea of adding in something like that that's tinkering.
Okay. I got a natural 14. Sleight of hand is +7. Nice, 21.
Yeah. So while he's messing around, you're able to kind of like figure out that if you widen the wingspan a little bit and you actually pull off like some of the weight that's on the feet that was used to balance it, you're able to get it to actually like it doesn't fly to the ceiling. You're able to get it balanced enough that it actually like it kind of float. It just kind of hovers like it's kind of like if a balloon is just in enough helium where if you let it go, it just kind of sits there in the air. you get it to do that. So you essentially can like hold it in your hand and then activate it and then let it go, and it kind of just stays there floating.
Cool.
Well,
I don't even like bring it up to Pops. I'm just glad that I solved it and he didn't.
Rangrim was going to ask if he could assist in any way by if he needs certain components made, because I can make things. I can make like a thing as long as it costs under 100 gold with raw materials, and that's only 1 hour.
Yeah, actually, yeah, so that's totally, so he, yeah, so I'll say he comes
There's
back
like
over.
a gear or a gizmo or something he needs to like
Like
fabricate.
frames.
I mean, essentially, really, all I have to do is make more of these, and he kind of pulls his goggles off and lets them go. He goes, "Ow, ow! I just need to make something to hold these lenses. Really, that's all it is. Well, these, and he kind of holds his goggles up to you, and he's like, "We're definitely gonna need a bigger strap. What do you need to fabricate these? What do you need to make these?"
Well, if it's made out of metal, I could just make the metal right here. And he reaches into his backpack and pulls out like a handful, like a ramshackle of strange things.
The
Several
doorknob?
doorknobs.
Yeah. What do you?
Finally used.
The doorknob, I think, was iron. Yeah. So with your skill set and being like a forge cleric, if you want to just, if you could just like fucking summon this thing from the ether, like using his goggles as a guide, all you essentially would have to do is be able to make larger versions of them that would fit you, and they'll be made out of iron, and then he can put the lenses into them.
Yep, because well, technically it says the object must be metal. It's a simple or martial weapon, a suit of armor, ammunition, set of tools, or another metal object, and it can be worth no more than 100 gold pieces. So when he actually makes something, it's more of like it's an oddly stoic looking thing for Rangrim, because he's just kind of sitting on the floor with his hands like above raw metal, as over the course of the hour it starts to churn and melt and take shape, just floating sort of in front of him.
That is fucking dope. I bet you ain't like, so Pops, he is 110% just mesmerized by this thing. Just as you're doing it. And he's just staring. He's like, this is amazing. This is amazing. And he's just kind of like, he can't sit still, and he's just moving back and forth. And he's got that like the trails or whatever as he's moving. Yeah, I mean, after you finish with this and you have these like metal goggle frames, he's already prepared the lenses, cut them to like the thickness they need to be, the width, everything. Just, I mean, he has an hour to do all this while you're working on that. So between staring at you in awe and finishing the touches, but he also creates these like leather straps that go on the back that you can tighten, attach on the, like essentially a belt that goes behind your head. And as soon as you're finished with this, it takes him almost no time at all to present you with these iron goggles that have these like darkened lenses on them.
Rangrim immediately takes them and puts them on. Holy crap. And he just runs and kicks the door open and just stands outside and just starts looking around at everything. And then runs back in and is like, guys, how cool do I look?
What I tell you, man, it's the doohickeys and the whizzlebops. They'll get you every time.
I take back everything I say about the whirly dervish. This guy Pops, he's all right. And I go to pat Pops on the shoulder.
He's dead.
I just
How much damage? Yeah, how much damage did you do?
imagine he dodged it. He's a quick little fella.
Here, I'll do a dexterity acrobatics check for him.
oh
yeah,
got
no,
it.
it's good. That's a 17 plus. I'm gonna give him +3. That was
And I just got you to roll. I win
true.
D&D.
Fuck, damn it! I said I wasn't gonna roll today.
I totally was
That's it.
onto that. I was onto it.
That's actually my Rumpelstiltskin weakness. I'm fading away at this point, guys.
If you don't believe in me, you'll disappear.
Yeah, thank God you never said my name backwards.
Spop?
Oh God.
Pops, you did it again, my friend. I can't thank you enough. I'm gonna add it to my tab. You know how I'll be back. And like I'm holding the dragon. I push the dragon as it flaps its wings. I kind of like float it to him.
Whoa! How that? Glyn, you always get me. Well, actually, if you can, what I could really use, to be honest, of the things that I could use the most, and if you were, it just happened to come across them or whatever, but gems. I need gems for a lot of the things that I do. We need sapphires, rubies, diamonds. All of those things are super useful. Just if you happen to come across them in your strange journeys, please just that would be a great trade for me.
Gems, we got it. It's easy.
Yep,
Find those everywhere.
Yep, we'll find them for you.
Is there anything else I can help with?
How much do you want for the goggles?
Oh, just Glyn, your friend Glyn's, just if you happen to come across any sapphires are actually harder than diamonds. Most people don't know that, but things like that are super, super helpful when it comes to cutting and doing really intricate work.
Oh, that reminds me. You do deal in gems. You wouldn't happen to have any pearls on you?
Ah, I might have something. Let me see. And he goes and he starts digging around, and he finds this little. It's like this tiny little. It almost looks like a constellation or some sort of there's all these intricate rings moving around, and then there's these different colored spheres that are on it. And he plucks the center one out, which is this it's like a pretty decent size. If you think of the large size marble, if you're playing marbles, like that one, it's that kind of pearl. And he goes, "You're gonna have to bring me a really good sapphire for this. You promise?"
You drive a hard bargain, Fraggle Rocks. But I like you, and Glyn likes you, and you like Glyn.
Yeah,
I'll help you.
He messes with my stuff, but he's a nice guy. He doesn't. Yeah, he's nice.
I fix your stuff.
It's
some
true.
of the time.
He probably steals it too.
He just mutters.
Wait, what?
Cosmo,
Nothing. He just turns around and starts touching the first thing in front of him.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Oh shit. He's a 12.
Okay.
I'm assuming I don't have a head in addition to that.
You go to touch it, and you definitely knock
It's a 13.
something.
It's a 13.
Okay. You knock something out of alignment with whatever you poked, but you don't feel like you broke it all the way, and you're just like, oop.
This
It's just like a little intricate windmill of some sort, and when you touch one of the windmill things, it just kind of bent in a little bit.
Oh, hey,
Well, Pops, we gotta go make a quick stop and visit Rangrim. Don't know if you've ever met him, but here's a real swell guy. We're gonna go make a quick visit, but we'll talk to you soon.
I know him. I buy plenty of metal from him.
Any chance you know if he's got any mithril on him?
Oh, I'm sure he does. I don't have much need for it here. It's a little bit. I don't make weapons or armor or anything of that sort. So bronze and brass and those types of metals work great for me, but conductive ones of those type. But yeah, I'm sure he might. If anyone would have it here, it would probably be him.
I appreciate it, and if you could stick to our usual agreement, and maybe keep this visit on the hush hush. We don't need people knowing that I'm fixing some of your tools and you're making some of my contraptions for me. It's best we just keep it between the two of us.
Well, trust me, you know me, I don't really leave this house much, so I don't think I'm gonna be telling many people.
And I start to walk out. Glyn leaves.
Oh, see you later, Pops.
Bye. And he's really moving really quickly, and it's probably like that crazy trail behind his movements is much more pronounced.
It's like every scene where they do mushrooms, like blah 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 blah. Okay. Glyn looks at Cosmo and goes, "I think it's time to pay your boss a visit."
Well, he's just yep. Let's go.
Yeah, so you guys are able to make your way over to so it's going to be the center of the town, like right there, actually above where the entrance to the mine is. There is this large, I mean, the town is all around it, but it's this large, like, kind of tiered structure that goes up, and it's just this, like, extremely fortified kind of stone, intricately made, like, brick or stone building that just goes up. And as you get to kind of the front door, which is centered just like kind of up above where the main mine shaft is, but like much higher up on the tiers, and you pass by the other like competing blacksmiths that pretty much only make stuff for the Boulder Fist Mining Company. You pass by the other like kind of Boulder Fist Mining Company tavern that's up there. That's kind of pretty much only frequented by people that are in the part of the Boulder Fist Mining Company, like more of the guards and people like that. They're a little bit more on payroll, more security. And you get to the front doors, and there are there's two guards that are stationed there that you probably recognize from being down in the mines during the attack. And they just kind of look at you and don't say anything.
So I guess before we would have like fully walked up, I would have like kind of hung back and like told the guys like, "Hey guys, I think you guys should be taking point on this one. I might say watch from afar. I'm not always welcome in these types of meetings." And I send Poe to the top of the tower, like towards the top, and he's like perched on top of the massive construct, and I actually break off kind of back towards where Madge's is, like away from the front door. So I go to like basically flank the building, but a slow meandering way about it.
Okay, so you're not trying to go into the main door then?
No, I'm not going with the group.
You're just hanging out. Okay, cool.
Hey.
Yeah, so Rangrim and Kazmo.
Right. Oh, there's Glyn. I'll give you a funny look if I need anything from you. But let's go see me, boss. And as we approach the front, it's just kind of like hey there, gentlemen. We're here to see Mr. Boulder Fist.
Oh yeah. I actually think he might be looking for you. He was y'all are the ones that fought that crazy thing down in the mines, right?
Right. Yep. The lift Hulk or the Uber Hulk.
Oh yeah, no, I hear those lift hulks are much more severe. That's good. It wasn't one of them. But I think old Brongrin's looking for you. I don't tell him I called him old Brongrin though, because he's got some temper, you know.
I won't say anything. It's between me and you, mate. Is he here?
Yeah, just go on in. He should be he's just on in there.
All right, then we'll just carry on through. Thanks.
Yeah, he kind of open, just stands to the side, and the other guard just kind of pushes the door open, and you guys are able to continue on through. And so we'll just kind of like when you enter into this place, it's very like you can tell that this thing was, whether it was older than what like the actual town itself, but this inside here seems very old. It seems like very like dwarven, like ancient dwarven temple-esque. Of course, it's like cleaned up and everything of the sort, but like you're walking down like a hall, like a cobblestone hallway with like a nice like lavish rug that's running down it, and there are just like these intricately carved columns that are going down this entire thing, and at the end of it you can see someone sitting behind a table that is just like eating a large amount of food that is just kind of set out in front of them, and they're just kind of like head down, just kind of like grubbing away. Yeah,
Are there any windows looking into the building?
There are no windows that are in this room that they can see.
Okay.
You don't see any other people. You just see one person at the far end, and it's like lit by torches. It doesn't seem to be magically lit. It seems like lanterns and oil lanterns and that sort are kind of lighting it all the way down. So it's like this very ambient lighting. But yeah, you're kind of, think of it as like this is kind of like the boss's office kind of thing. And that's what you're dealing with. But it's like a bigger open room at the end of it. But it's not a super super long hallway. But you quickly are able to cover that distance and come across someone you recognize as Rangrim pretty quickly because the fact that it's an older dwarf with blonde hair that is like definitely graying pretty heavily at this point, pulled back into like a long mane of hair, and then like a beard that's bearded down, or that's braided down into his actual hair itself. And he, of course, has one arm and is wearing like a kind of like not full, like you can tell this person probably does put on full plate armor, but he's right now wearing just the under things from that, and a little bit more comfortable. And he's grubbing away.
We was told you was looking for us there, Mr. Boulderfist.
Hey, what are you doing sneaking up on me?
Sorry about that. The guards let us in. I didn't mean to sneak up on you.
Well, you gotta make your presence more known.
I'm sorry. We could leave you to your meal if you like. We could come back. We don't have to stay.
No, it's fine. I've already stopped eating. But okay, what can I help you with, boy?
Well, he told you was looking for us.
One thing you do notice, you probably notice right away, is that he's only addressing Kazmo. He is not even looking at Rangrim.
Rangrim wouldn't be looking at him anyways. Rangrim is like a kid in a candy store, just like looking at stuff with his goggles on right now. So he's totally oblivious to the absolute shade this man's throwing at him.
He doesn't. His like goggles are covering his eyes. It wouldn't even notice if he.
Mm-hmm.
It's true, yeah. They're pretty dark for sure. Because like with how keen your dark vision is, these things probably like the thin obsidian lens
Probably black my eyes out.
Probably.
So he has no idea that I'm just staring through him like, wow.
It's pretty dope, actually. I think that honestly, we might be able to work out something where you have like advantage on like deception or something because of that. We'll see.
Dude, get us in a poker tournament.
I love
Rangrim playing poker would be terrible.
I'm gonna have to make a custom item for that, which is super fucking dope. I'm super into it.
He would check when he meant to hit. It would all be bad.
All right, boy. What can I help you with?
Well, yeah, there seems like there's a lot of interesting characters that are making their way up into the mines, and
it's been a real pain in my arse.
Well, conveniently, me and my friends here, Rangrim and Glyn over there, we've been here to.
Who the fuck are you pointing at?
I'm gone. I'm not even there.
I thought you.
No, I'm outside. I'm gone. I'm not involved.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were just staying back. Okay. All right, cool.
You're good.
Well, yeah, he's outside. He just wanted to stay outside and feed his bird. But me friend Rangrim here, we've been saving your ass.
Twice.
Twice. He's
on
right.
My count.
Thank you, Rangrim.
Yeah. Thanks, Rangrim.
Well,
you're welcome.
All right. Yes, I appreciate you helping to get rid of the Underdark menaces. But listen, let's cut to the chase. I don't have much time. I don't want to be sitting here having a fucking conversation with you all day. What are you here for?
Well, my friend, I am here because I'd like to speak to you about the refugees that are just being caught in the in-between of this space.
This fucking bleeding hearts coming in here, huh?
Well, maybe, but let's talk about it.
Okay, let's talk about it. What are you wanting to do?
Well, these people down in the mines who are stuck in the refugee camp, they are not safe with these continued attacks of these monsters that apparently are getting bigger. Every time there's an attack, they get farther, they get bigger, and they are harder to defeat. And these people are caught in the crosshairs, and I would like to see them removed from that section of the mine and brought up under the surface.
See, that's funny. You said something about people down in the mines. I don't know any people down in the mines.
Mr. Boulderfist, I'm not gonna take any of your shit around these people, but there are people down there, and if you'd like for me and me friends to continue to step in front of whatever large beasts that continue to walk out of that dark hole, I suspect you might want to call them people. I will also roll an intimidation check on that.
Yeah, roll
I
an
wanna-
intimidation.
I would like to help because Rangrim is not used to this Kazmo and is so on board with this
Yeah.
vibe that he's just standing behind him, just like chest puffed out, just like, yeah, what up? What's
With
up?
his
My
fucking
boy's
goggles
coming
on.
for you right
I
now.
love it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, do intimidation, and then if then Rangrim, whatever you roll for it, we'll just see if it's good enough. He could get advantage, or he can get a bonus for it.
This
I rolled a 15.
Okay, yeah. Because of that, I'll give Kazmo advantage because of that.
Oh, ooh.
Since you're essentially aiding him.
80. Oh, yeah. I got you. That's intimidation. Intimidation. That's a 15.
Okay, so 2 15s. I'm gonna roll for this guy. See what kind of fucking. So
2 rolls.
he's all right, you listen here. I'm not gonna be fucking intimidated in my own goddamn office. So if this is the end of our conversation, then make it the end of our conversation. Otherwise, I'm gonna have you fucking dragged out of here.
Well then, Mr. Boulderfist, the next time those bells ring, I don't expect to see me and me friends down there covering your eyes. And I turn around and walk out.
Rangrim's just like, and he walks out right behind Kazmo, like, told you.
Once Poe sees them walk out, he like kind of alerts Glyn, and Glyn like kind of in stride catches up with them when they're walking through town. He's like, "Oh boys, how did it go? We in the clear? We're gonna get our people out of there."
Well, I don't think he took kindly to me intimidation, and right now we might need to find another way for your friends to reach the surface, because he's not going to let him out, and I'm not willing to put our lives at risk to protect his greed any longer.
Maybe
Yeah, that guy was a real dick. I mean, I'm people don't like me in town, but it's mostly just because. And then Rangrim stops and thinks for a minute and just thinks about the way that guy talked. He's like, "That's why everyone doesn't like me. It's because I'm from the Underdark." Like it just dawned on him this second.
I just kind of like pat Rangrim, but it's like, "Hey man, tolerance isn't for everybody. I guess we'll get
That
them there
guy's
eventually."
a dick.
I like it. Glyn looks cosmic. So, normally you look down on me, maybe getting involved in some less than forthright ways. Feel like turning the other cheek on this one?
We'll have to talk about how far we turn that cheek, but right now there are some people that are in need, and I'm gonna make sure they're safe.
Well, I'm glad you're on board then, because we have one quick stop we can make that might help that group down there. And remember the original group of tattered lords? They had all sorts of weapon and armor, and I'm sure you heard Madge was going to help clean up and polish some of that. You mind helping me get that down to Joro? Might be able to at least arm them so they can defend themselves from whatever might be coming up if Boulder Fist and his buddies aren't going to be helping out too much.
I think that that'll be a wise thing to do, especially since they're on their own down there.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. So as you're walking back over to the Iron Woman, where Madge is at, since it's very close to Kazmo's house, you see that there are about 4 guards that are all around Kazmo's house, and they have pulled Kazmo's mom outside, and they seem to be questioning or talking and trying to like actually stop people on the road too, asking people about this crazy hand symbol on the side of Kazmo's house. And with that, we are going to leave this session for the night.
We kind of forgot about that.
I thought we covered it.
Maybe we should have cleaned that. I don't think we did.
We covered it with minor illusion, but that goes away as soon as I'm out of range.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, that's what we did.
That's
That's fine. We're social pariahs. It's fine.
Oh well.